नमस्ते बच्चों, खुश रहिए आप लोग। माई सेल्फ डॉक्टर शिल्पाश्री शाह, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर ऑफ ज्योति विद्यापीठ वुमेन्स यूनिवर्सिटी. I am from faculty of physiotherapy and diagnostics. Today I will teach about some breathing exercises that will help you to give treatment advice to the patient. Okay, so first of all you have to know what is breathing exercise. Breathing exercise are mainly done as a voluntary work of any patient, like you have to control it voluntarily, your breathing. Okay, so this is breathing exercise and it will help you to do maintain your vital sign, maintain your respiratory rate, blood pressure, etc. Okay, and also help to regulate your diaphragm if it is unable to work properly, or if your accessory muscles works rather than your primary muscles of inhalation or exhalation. Okay, so first you have to know what is ventilation or pulmonary ventilation. Okay, so the process of air in which it moves into and outside your lungs is called ventilation, that is gas exchange. Okay, and breathing is only one of the process that deliver oxygen to your lung. As you all know that organs involved in breathing are nose, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, lungs and muscles along with diaphragm. Okay, so today we will discuss about all the breathing exercises. At first you have to know what are the muscles that are involved in inspiration and what are the muscles that are involved in expiration. Okay, so primary muscles of inspiration is diaphragm. Okay, that are located in your abdomen. Next is accessory muscles are scalene, which elevates your first two ribs. Okay, then sternocleidomastoid, which elevates your sternum during inhalation. Then serratus anterior, which is a supporting muscle. Then external intercostal, which moves upward and outward during inhalation. Then muscles of expirations are external oblique, recto-abdominal, internal oblique, transverse abdominal, etc. Now, breathing exercise and ventilator training are the fundamental interventions for the prevention for acute and chronic pulmonary disease. You have already learned about some respiratory condition and cardiothoracic condition in which treatment options are along with the breathing exercise that can control and manage the symptoms, right? So studies indicate that breathing exercise and ventilatory training have affect and alter the patient's rate and depth of ventilation. So principle of breathing exercise involve areas of exercise, that means in which place you are doing that. Like you should not be considered the patient to do breathing exercise in a crowded place where noise are there. Okay, you have to maintain it in a environment where there is silence. Okay, then explanation and instruction to the patient, that how you will instruct the patient about the exercise. You have to explain them with the elaboration, that how you will going to do the exercise and what are the precaution you have to taken before the exercise, and how many repetition you have to do to get beneficial results. Okay, then patient's position. Okay, why patient position is important? Because in positioning is a very vital role in our body. Like suppose in upright position we have a very good diaphragmatic excursion. Okay, suppose in prone position you will feel the your ventilation will be more. Okay, suppose in semipolar position you can recruit your diaphragm more prominently. Okay, so this is the importance of positioning. Plus you have to maintain the position in which the patient is comfortable. Okay, so you won't have to provide the patient in a position in which the patient is not comfortable, or in which even you are not comfortable. You should not go into that position. Then evaluate the patient. Evaluation of patient means you have to understand, you have to evaluate what are the lack of the condition, or lack what is lack in there in the patient. Okay, which, like, suppose the patient has shortness of breath, then you have to find out, like, in which grade he is now. Okay, like that you have to evaluate. If you have to physically diagnose that if he or she has presence with cyanosis or what, anything like that, you have to evaluate first. Okay, then demonstration of exercise, you have to demonstrate the patient about the exercise, that how you are going to do that, or how the patient can do it by him or herself. Okay, then patient's practice, you have to tell the patient that you have to practice it to get more beneficial result. Okay, now guidelines for teaching breathing exercise. So I have already told you, for first breathing exercise you have to choose a quiet area to get a proper interaction with the with minimal distraction. Then explain the patient about the aim of your treatment. Then relax the patient, make him relax, him or her relax, and may take him in a position in which the patient is comfortable. Okay, then observe and assess the patient, then determine with treatment which are indicated. Okay, if necessary teach the patient relaxation technique to, because you know what, when the patient is suffering from any condition, what happened to them, the patient will get anxiety due to pain or due to any other condition. Let's suppose if a patient is not able, going through surgery, okay, and he or she will not able to move after surgery, what will happen, he or she will going through anxiety, some kind of anxiety, okay, or depression. So you have to in each case, what happened, the patient will get shallow breather or protract the shoulder. Okay, for that it is a sign of anxiety or depression, so you have to relax the patient. Special attention on use of accessory muscles you have to give. Then demonstrate the breathing pattern to the patient. Okay, have the patient practice the correct technique in variety of positions. Now, what are the indication of the breathing exercise? The breathing exercise are indicated in conditions like cystic fibrosis, bronchiectasis, atelectasis, lung abscess, pneumonia, acute lung disease. For patient with high spinal cord injury, COPD, emphysema, chronic bronchitis, after surgery, any thoracic or cardiopulmonary surgery. For patient who must remain in bed for an extended period of time, and its relaxation process. Now, what are the contraindications? Look, severe pain. In case of severe pain and discomfort, you have to be some kind of cautious. Okay, you have to allow the patient to do breathing exercise in a comfortable position, or he or she get less pain. Okay, so severe pain, in case of severe pain or discomfort, it is contraindicated, but you can do it with minimal pain. Acute medical or surgical emergency, then patient with reduced conscious level, increased intracranial pressure, unstable head or neck injury, active hemorrhage, flail cyst, uncontrolled hypertension. These are the contraindication of breathing exercise. Then anticoagulation, then rib or vertebral fracture, acute asthma or tuberculosis, patient who have recently experienced a heart attack, patient with skin graft and spinal fusion will have undue pressure placed on areas of repair, bony metastasis, etc. Okay, so these are the contraindication. Now, what are the type of breathing exercise? Look, there are various type of breathing exercise, but the main are diaphragmatic breathing exercise, glossopharyngeal breathing exercise, then pursely breathing exercise, segmental breathing exercise. Okay, so in diaphragmatic breathing exercise, what you will do? You will tell the patient to be in semipolar position. You have to put them into semipolar position to recruit the diaphragm more. Okay, then you will ask the patient to place his or her hand over the lower abdomen. Okay, and then you will ask the patient to relax him or herself. If the patient is not able to relax, then what we will do, you will try to relax him. Like you have to do say that try to relax yourself and inhale through nose and exhale through your mouth. Okay, then prepare the patient with relaxed and comfortable position in which the gravity assists the diaphragm, such as semi-forward position. If you notice the accessory muscle activation, like if the patient inhale like that, use of shoulder is there, that you have to relax them through Jacobson relaxation technique. Okay, then ask the patient to place his or her hand over the rectus abdominis, that is over the abdomen, lower abdomen. Okay, then ask the patient to inhale through nose like that and feel the abdominal movement. Okay, and exhale through mouth. Okay, then what we will do, during inhalation the patient's abdomen will get upward, and during exhalation it will get downward. Okay, that means diaphragmatic movement is there. Then glossopharyngeal exercise. What is glossopharyngeal exercise? It is a means of increasing the patient's inspiratory capacity when there is severe weakness of muscles of inspiration. It is taught to patients who have difficulty in deep breathing. It is used primarily for ventilator dependent patients due to absent or incomplete innervation of diaphragm because of high cervical cord injury or neuromuscular disorder. The glossopharyngeal breathing with inspiratory action of neck muscle can reduce ventilatory dependence or can be used as an emergency procedure for malfunctioning ventilator. What happened to that? In glossopharyngeal breathing, you will ask the patient to take several gulps, like 6 to 10 gulps of air through mouth, then close the mouth and tongue pushes the air back and trapped to the pharynx. The air is then forced to the lung when the lungs when the glottis is open, like that. You will have to tell the patient take several gulps of air with mouth. Okay, like that. Okay, 6 to 10 gulps. Then you will push the air through the tongue into the airway. Okay. Then pursed lip breathing. Pursed lip breathing is a strategy that involves lightly pursing the lips and together during controlled exhalation. Ask the patient to inhale through nose and exhale through pursed lip, like okay, like that. You will instruct the patient like that take deep inhalation through the nose, or take deep breath through the nose and then exhale through the mouth in a manner that you are blowing a candle, or you are like that, you are blowing a candle, or you are you will give on target, like that. A paper will be there in front of the patient, and you will tell the patient try to move the paper with during exhalation. Okay, so patient's target will be to move the paper with exhalation through mouth. Okay, so this is the target option. Now segmental breathing exercise. Look, segmental breathing exercises depend on various segments of the lung. Okay, so it is performed on a segment of lung or a section of chest wall that need increase in ventilation. Hyperventilation occurs in certain areas of lung because of chest wall fibrosis, pain after surgery, atelectasis, trauma to chest wall, pneumonia, post-mastectomy scar. Therefore, it will be important to emphasize explanation in such areas of the lung and chest wall. Okay, like segmental breathing exercises are of different types. Apical breathing exercise, lateral costal exercise, like that. Okay, what we will do in this exercises, suppose your suppose your apical area or apex of lung is involved and there is less of breath sound in auscultation. What we will do, you will target that apex. Okay, apex of lung. So in case, you will tell the patient to sit and relaxedly and comfortably. Okay, then try to tell him or her to inhale properly like that, and during exhalation you will put pressure on that area. Suppose it is apex, so you will during exhalation you will put negative pressure or against, push against the exhalation pressure. Okay, suppose patient is exhaling. Okay, so what we will do, when in case of during inhalation you will ask the patient to inhale properly, and during inhalation you will try to push against that inhalation. Okay, like that. My hand is giving pressure against inhalation, and during exhalation you will relax your hand. Okay, so this is all about breathing exercise. Okay, you will tell them for the home exercise also. Take the patient, teach the patient properly about the exercise, and try to tell them to practice it regularly in home. Okay, so that the patient get beneficial result. So this is all about breathing exercise. You have to go through book for more information. Okay, but if there is any query regarding this class, you can ask me in comment section. Okay, so what we have learned today: breathing exercise. What is breathing? What are the organs involved in breathing? What is ventilation? What are the types of breathing exercise? How it is beneficial to patient? What are the indication? What are the contraindication? What are the different methods of doing different type of breathing exercise? Okay, so in practical classes you will get to learn more about that. Okay, so this is all about today's class. Thank you. खुश रहिए आप लोग.